Alright, hi guys, my name is Jenae. So I am an inspiring, or not inspiring, I am inspired. No, I'm not inspiring. I'm a aspiring author. I am a writer in the fantasy genre, and basically I just wanted to come on here and kind of do like a get to know you type of situation, answer a couple of questions, and just kind of talk about myself so you guys can know a little bit more about me. I have been posting a lot of shorts on here, just like kind of funny stuff. But I definitely want to start posting more long form content. So yeah, I'm just gonna answer a couple of questions so you guys can kind of get to know me more. And yeah, so basically, the first question is, what genre of books would I like to get trapped in, or what genre do you write in? So I am a fantasy lover. I'm starting to get into sci-fi, but as far as a writer, I'm a fantasy writer. And I really kind of focus on Christian allegories, very similar to like Narnia. And how long I've been writing? I've been writing for about not very long. Like, it's been kind of off and on, but one thing is I've always been a reader, and I've been reading since I could read. But I've been like a diehard reader since like my high school days, and then during college days it was a little hard, but yeah, I've always been into reading. And yeah, and as far as writing, I'm definitely still a bit newer to it, but I knew like I always wanted to write a book and I just never knew when. But I guess I would say I've been writing for about like I don't know, 4 or 5 months. So yeah, I'm kind of ambitious. All right, and am I published? Nope, I'm not a published author. I'm just a writer, but I will be an author, okay? And let's see, why do I write? So I write, why a person writes is just very like different for like everybody, but ultimately like I couldn't imagine just like writing as a hobby. Like, I mean, yes, it is my hobby, but ultimately like part of the hobby is sharing it with people. Like, I write it, okay, great, but only I can read it, and that's not nearly as fun as other people reading it. And I think that's kind of the purpose of writing. Writing is communication, and so I want to share my story, like what's literally sitting in my brain, with other people. So that's why I write, and that's why I want to be a published author, because I want to share what's in my mind, my creative ideas, my story, and make people feel happy, or just like, I don't know, I want people to experience the world that I create. So that's why I write, and I mean, it's fun. I know sometimes like as an author, like as a writer, sometimes we have like high word goals to like, you know, encourage us to write our books, but I do also enjoy like just leisurely writing. But yeah, so how do I find time to write? I mean, I just get it in when I can. I mean, my word goal is 1,000 words every single day, but that does not happen every single day. But ideally, I would like to write 1,000 words. Now, if I only get to like 500, 800, cool. But about 1,000 words every single day is my word goal. Now, I would really say I tend to do a lot more writing on my weekend than throughout the week, because I'm just so like preoccupied with like work and just daily living and daily chores, that I don't get around to a lot of writing. But I do constantly, I'm like constantly in Notion, just kind of plotting and planning of the chapters, kind of, so it's kind of like I'm still writing, but not really. And writing playlist. So I do not have a writing playlist yet, but I am going to share a couple of writing playlists with you guys that are on Spotify that you guys can check out. I'm kind of funny with writing playlists, because sometimes music can be like a distraction for me while I'm writing. Like, it just, if the music isn't the right, like, if the music isn't the right vibe for the scene that I'm writing, then it kind of throws me off, which is why I usually like the ones, like, I like playlists that don't have any lyrics in it. That way I can kind of just, I don't know, but even like the music, it has to be the right vibe depending on what's in. But overall, sometimes I do use music to kind of like get me focused in, and other times it can be a distraction. So I'll share that with you guys. So the challenges of writing. So the challenge that I face with writing is simply the same challenge that everyone faces, which is that like when you're not sure what to write, but you're supposed to be writing, it's kind of like difficult, or you're trying to figure out a plot hole, or you're trying to figure out your characters, you know, it's the questions that are unanswered, and that's the part of writing that can be hard. But when you have the answer, it's easy. So I would say writing in a similar way is kind of like math. Like, when you know the answer to the math, to the equation, you know how to solve it, then it's like, okay, cool. But when you don't know how to solve it, it's like, ugh. So I would say that's the hardest part about writing for me. What do I write with and on? So I write on my laptop, my Surface here. It's my baby. So yeah, I write with that, but I'm also pretty old school sometimes because like I can't always have my computer with me. So if I ever get like cool ideas or I start hearing my character's voice or just like an idea, I'll put it in my notebook. And like I just like to do it. I feel like it's fun, and I like buying like little cute notebooks like this. I got this at Marshall's. But yeah, I like to do that. And sometimes I also will take like notes in Notion, which is like what I use to kind of plan. But like I do my actual story in Google Docs. And yeah, so Google Docs on my computer and Notion, and you know, I just use this like, you know, to kind of do short stories in. Who are my favorite authors? Okay, so that is such a hard question because it's just like I like so many authors. Like I just can't get enough of reading different books by different people. But I would say one of my favorite authors right now that I've just kind of read is June Her. She is the author of A Crane Among Wolves. She's an indie author, but I absolutely love that story and I love her writing. I just love how seamless everything feels. Another one that I look up to, of course, Brandon Sanderson. Like he's got it, okay? I haven't read all of his books, but I am currently reading a lot of his books. And of course, you know, I love Narnia, so him, C.S. Lewis, that's my favorite authors. I feel like I have a couple more, but yeah, like I just have so many authors that I like. And my best advice for authors, so a lot of people give like really loaded advice and like don't do this and don't do that, but honestly I would say the best advice is writing is a process, not just like, yeah, writing a story is a process, but learning how to write is the process as well. So there's two processes that you're going through. There's the process up here and then there's the process that's going on in front of you. And I would say my advice is to just kind of show up. Just show up. I mean, I know that sounds like just do it like Nike and it's not always that easy, but just show up and just be willing to learn. Writing is not something that you just acquire overnight. I mean, of course there are those people, but on average, it's something that takes time. It's not a, what is it called? What's that phrase? It's not a race, it's a, I don't know how to explain it. It's not a relay, it's a marathon. Yeah, writing is not a relay, it's a marathon. Especially for my genre, the word count that I have, it's not a relay, it's a marathon. You have to pace yourself. Sorry. You have to pace yourself. Like when you first start like coming up with like worlds and like characters, it's all gonna feel kind of like someone has said wooden, and that's exactly what it feels like. Your characters feel wooden, like you don't know anything about them. They're just a name and a vague image in your mind. Your world, your power system is kind of vague, like you're not exactly sure how it works, right? You don't have all the answers when you start writing. So my advice to be is it's okay not to have all the answers. You don't need to have all of the answers when you're writing. That's what writing is. It's not just writing down what you know, it's figuring out how to figure it out and then write it down, right? You're only able to write what you know, and if you get it wrong, then you just change it. I don't know, I'm just struggling so hard to explain, to give advice. But either way, just show up every single day or whenever you have time to write, whenever your predetermined schedule is that works best for you, show up. And another good advice tip that I would give to writers is to read. I mean, I know like that just seems like a duh, right? But I've been around some places where people are like writing, but they're not like they're writers, they don't like reading. So I don't know how that works, but the best way to grow as a writer is also to read. Like read a lot, read like a lot of different stories and even like other forms of media, and just really pay attention to like character development. Oh, that's my garage. So just pay attention to all of those things. And yeah, so that was it for the Q&A. It was very brief, but yeah, I'm Jenae, I'm 24 years old, and yeah, I'm an aspiring fantasy author. The title of my book is called Fruit Punch, okay? And basically, just a tiny synopsis of what it's about. I don't want to share too much because I'm still in the process of writing it. So basically, yeah, it's called Fruit Punch, and it is a Christian allegory. And essentially, in this world, just like how there's the fruit of the different, like the fruit of the spirit, like if you're a Christian or if you know the Bible, you know about the different fruits, the different fruit of spirits, or spirit of fruit, or I don't know, my brain's getting all confused, but yeah. So yeah, in this, in my story, the different fruits have different powers, and over a period of time, those different fruits have like manifested in different ways in different people, and that's all I'm gonna say, and that's all I'm gonna leave it at, because that's all I got, to be honest with you. I'm just joking, but I'm still writing it. It's for the audience, or the age range for my book would be, I mean, honestly, anyone can read it. I would say anyone from as like middle grade up to new adult, or early adult. It's essentially kind of in that same age range as like, anyone really can read it. Like anyone from 12 to however old can really read it. The characters are in that younger age range of like 18 to 25. But of course, anyone younger than that can read it, and anyone older than that can read it. So yeah, there you have it. So yeah, bye guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm definitely planning to upload more long form content. Do expect more short form content because that's just more convenient for me. But I really want to just come on here and like kind of talk to people. And I don't know, I've just seen like a lot of other writers on WriterTube, if that's a thing. Is WriterTube a thing, or is it still BookTube? I don't know. I've seen other aspiring writers on here and aspiring authors, and I just like, I want to make a long form content and introduce myself to the world too. So yeah, bye guys. See you in the next one.